Hey guys, how's everyone doing? This is Sir Jedi Sentinel, and welcome back to Batman Be Vlogged, the weekly vlog series where I review an episode of Batman Beyond after watching it for the very first time. Today we are looking at episode 30, Armory, written by John P. McCann, directed by... Oh, excuse me, I might butcher this name. Kyung-won Lim. As always, because I do these unscripted, there is a blanket spoiler warning in place, just in case I decide to talk about spoilers. And Armory is another good episode, and like the previous one, The Last Resort, it kind of touches very heavily with social commentary of a sort. So the focus of this episode is a man named Big Jim. He designs weapons, Terry at one point specifically says light weapons, for Wayne Powers. But because of recent budget cuts and downsizing, Big Jim is being laid off. Oh, I should mention too, sort of our vehicle initially through this is through the eyes of his stepson and a sort of former friend of Terry's named Jared. So, we're shown Big Jim's struggle here. He goes from company to company, he's trying to find a job to make things work, and people keep turning him away. They have nothing for him. Until finally, a former coworker of his gives him an under-the-table job. He initially came up with a kind of weapon, but Wayne Powers rejected the idea. So now, again, under the table, a foreign nation is willing to buy it, but he needs to get the schematics and the parts, essentially becoming a criminal in the process. And again, I found that, like The Last Resort, this episode has a really pointed commentary. This one more about society, and especially the workforce and capitalism in particular. This is a very anti-capitalist story because of how the capitalism treats Big Jim. It sees him without a job, without a function, as essentially useless. So now he has to find a way to work outside the system, and he's kind of demonized for it. In doing so, he becomes a villain called Armory. I like Armory's design. It's very simple, but it plays really into sort of a soldier aesthetic, which kind of makes sense. One, with his name. Two, Big Jim is a weapons designer. He is weapons designer and manufacturer. And this is sort of what he's been forced to do. If there is one thing I have issue with, it's that, after the first encounter with Batman, the person who is employing Big Jim, so to speak, says, every war has casualties, you might need to take care of Batman. And then in their second fight, Big Jim also seems almost too eager to fight Batman and eliminate him, which kind of goes against his dialogue in this story. Where he seems very hesitant to even be doing this in the first place. Like, he's at his wit's end, he needs a job, he needs an income, so he's going along with this to do it, but you can kind of tell from his words, he has trouble wanting to do this. He doesn't want to be a war criminal, and it almost sounds like he has trouble wanting to kill Batman, but in action, he almost seems entirely too eager to do so. Again, just vocal performances are solid. Again, nothing really stand out, except the actor. Although there is something interesting, Terry Batman is kind of a background character in this. Big Jim is our POV character, and we spend the duration of the episode following him as he kind of descends into darkness, essentially becoming a criminal to try and support his family. And, kind of the redemption he has at the end of the episode. I will say too, at 20 minutes, there are moments that seem very rushed. Like, this episode kind of realizes it's 20 minutes, so there's a lot it has to ghost over in this particular journey for this type of character. Also, wow, 20 minutes. Commercial breaks used to be a lot longer. But yeah, that's it. Again, I don't know if I'm ghosting over these because there's not a lot to say, or if I am trying to catch up after my hiatus. Armory is another solid episode. It's got decent performances. It's got good animation. One thing I will give it over The Last Resort is that the fight sequences between Terry and Armory are much better. And again, but where this story really does excel is in its commentary. But those are just my thoughts. Have you seen Armory? What are yours? Start a conversation in the comments below. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Click the bell next to subscribe to get notifications when I upload. And in the description box below, you'll find the link to social media where you can follow me and get updates on the channel. This is Sir Jedi Sentinel, and I'll see you guys next time.